That is not your quiet. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us. Welcome to the Legacy Builder series on Babes with the Fire. I'm your very host again tonight, Hannah Jolly. And for those who are joining us for the first time, if you're new to Babes with the Vine, we are a community of women that empower other women, both spiritually, economically, physically, and in all areas. And we create an environment that allows women to thrive. If you've been following us for the last few weeks, we have been interviewing our founding members and veterans and guests who have been a friend to the Babes with Divine organization. Tonight, I'm going to be asking Pastor Segun who is going to be sharing with us, and we're going to be asking a series of questions. So please, I would like us to stay tuned, share the link with people, can join us on Facebook and join us on YouTube as well. So in the light of our anniversary, we are celebrating in Nigeria. Please be aware of the celebrations taking place in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. So we're going to enjoy a lot of babes to be a part of the celebration. So as we move on further in the episode, I would like to welcome Pastor Segun to the platform. I'm hoping he can hear me. Welcome, sir. I don't know, I just want to make sure that you can hear us. Good evening. Welcome. Right. Okay. While we are still waiting, for those who have been in last night, we had our Vice President, Viv Chinelo, who obviously shared with us our experience with BR in the last 15 years. And it's so heartwarming to see some of the work BR has done in the background. So many testimonies, so many impacts we have made over the years in the lives of women and the girl child. So while we're still waiting for our guest speaker, I'm just make sure that he's able to connect. Just spell yes. Right. Okay. So we're going to give him a few more minutes. So I'm hoping you have been able to catch up with some of the episodes. This is probably our third, going to our fourth week, and it's been an amazing time. We've had testimonies, like I said, some of the impact of made babes, in Nigeria and across Nigeria. And a lot of babes have shared their thought on how far BR has come. And they've also shared their thoughts on what they think BR can do moving forward and the legacy that we're building. So I'm hoping that we are gaining a lot, and I hope that people are also sharing their thoughts and reflection as we've been encouraging. Right, I think we would have Pastor Segun Kokaron. Welcome, sir. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah. We thank God. We're good.
Yeah, lovely. How's your day been?
Yes.
That's the big question. But it's lovely to have you. We're delighted, and thank you for making time to be on this series of legacy builders. Thank you. Right, we're going to delve right into the interview. I know you're friends with the organization for many years, and we are delighted and we're thrilled that you've been a part of this journey as well. So we're celebrating our 15th anniversary, and we've been reflecting on the impact the organization has made in the last 15 years. So what does Babe Redefine mean to you, sir? And how has your involvement with the organization impacted your life?
Oh, okay. First and foremost, it's a privilege to be here, and
Okay.
I want to appreciate our convener, our president. I think I can use our because I've been quite personal with this organization.
Yes.
I want to congratulate Pastor Morian Shumakinde for keeping this vision alive. The very fact that we are on a BR broadcast this evening
Yes.
uh, is a testament that something that started 15 years ago is still alive. There are many many Facebook groups that did not pass group, and there are many efforts that have come and gone.
Mm,
I personally witnessed the closure of a number of Facebook groups
yeah.
attempts
Mm,
personally. So if
wow.
there's work that is still standing after 15 years and that is started online, then it means something is going well. All right.
That's
So I
wonderful.
want to say BR to me is uh, a community of women that are fostering to help each other to grow
Mm,
spiritually, socially, and in every other way.
yes.
And also trying to reach out to other women who may not be as privileged as the majority. All right, so I've seen BR evolve over the years, which is definitely uh, something that has to happen. If
Yes.
it, if the group is going to, if the group will not die, then
That's
there
right.
has to be, a snake has to change its skin
Mm,
to keep being alive. If you don't change the skin, then you go with the skin. All right,
sure.
this is a joy to me to see that what started as a Facebook group has survived the the faces
Mm,
to this, and I believe that to me it's a it's a how will I call it? It's a project that I was involved in at the
wow.
very beginning. Yes, so it's BR to me is a baby. Is a baby that I probably was involved in helping to encourage to birth. You know, there are some people in the hospital when
Yeah.
a woman wants to give birth that their job is to say push.
Yeah. Betting partners.
They are not the ones carrying the baby, but
No,
they are the ones shouting push.
that's
All
right.
right. I think I'm one of those people that were shouting push when PR was going to be born, and
Thank
to see
God.
that the baby is alive 15 years after,
Mm,
something good.
yes.
Mm.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I think Timo mentioned Pastor Maureen. Don't worry, because we call her short and nickname Timo.
I should not tell you. I should not tell you what I call her. So just
Oh,
continue.
we might come to that. You can release the cat out of the bag. We are so fond, fond of calling her Timo. And I just remember that, oh, we're talking to Pastor Maureen. We thank God for your contribution, and she did mention as well that you've known for several years, and when the vision came, she had people who was around her who were able to support and the breadth of that vision. And here we are today, 15 years strong and still standing. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah,
Yes.
and the next question I have is, how do you think Beige Define's message and mission resonate with its members? And what role do you see the organization playing in the lives of women?
Okay. How do I see uh, the mission resonate with the members? Um, just like I said earlier, that there
Mm,
has been a lot of evolving. In the beginning, it was basically everybody coming to share thoughts
that's
and
right.
issues and problems and situations. And it was in the wake of a lot of people just getting used to the social media, especially
That's
in this
correct.
space. So
Yeah.
people were seeing that as a solution,
Mm,
somewhere you could rant, somewhere you could express your pain and get counsel It
Mm.
was quite weird. I remember there were at the very beginning there were so many kind of situations. People just enjoyed the fact that you could type your situation and somebody can a group of women can respond.
That's right.
Some people also delighted in the fact that you could drop your situation anonymously
That's right. I
and
was just
get
going to say.
ourselves anonymously. I think
Mm.
that was a major thing, and it resonated with the need of the people at that time because
Mm.
women have issues they cannot identify their personality with for the safety of those who are involved, especially
That's
people like us, their husbands. All right, so uh,
yeah.
so they enjoyed the fact that they could
Mm.
talk about their issues without mentioning their names or implying another person
That's right.
like that and their children. That resonated a lot with a
Mm.
lot of women. And if you look at the growth statistics at
Yes.
the moment where this group really grew in numbers, you will find
Mm.
out that that was like the that was like the major pulling point that people were able to express themselves and at the point they were overdoing it and we had to bring structure. It
Yeah.
was the expression that brought about the need for structure, and
Mm.
structure kept coming as the need, as the growth kept coming,
Mm.
and then somehow I feel that uh, no matter what BR is doing today, I feel that initial thing
Yes.
must still find expression somehow.
Mm.
My message today, if I was to summarize this broadcast, would have just been find what has worked over the years and
Mm.
try to see how to bring it into what is working.
Yes.
All right. And then we could, bring the system into full liveliness,
Mm.
whereby we can convert 80,000 members into 80,000 lively, actively involved
Mm.
members that are being blessed and also blessing others at
Others.
different. So that's it. Something
Mm.
a platform where people, women are being blessed, and they also have
Mm.
opportunity to bless other people without any fear or cheat anywhere.
Mm.
So to me, that in that way, it really resonates with the members.
Mm.
And then everything I see BL doing today, somehow that still plays in somewhere, including the outreaches and
Yeah.
that which is having now. It's now creating a platform to make the women reach other women on a
That's right.
trusted ground.
Mm.
So that trusted ground is something to really work on, structure properly to increase the output that the people that are being blessed. All right,
Yeah.
so that's what I'll say for now.
Thank you so much, Pastor Segun. Exactly what you said. We are it's all there's we are work in progress. There's a lot of work that has gone on the ground. From the online platform now, we have campuses within different countries and even within different cities as well. So we have where women can connect in smaller groups and then our outreaches. But there's a lot more work that we can do. And I'm sure our leaders, the advisory boards, those in leadership are listening as well. And then we can go back to the board, the drawing board, what has worked over the years, and then we can make sure that we can have a larger output to others. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And what advice would you give to new members or young women who are looking to get involved in Biz Redefine? What advice would
Okay,
you give, sir?
so I think that more than just a Facebook group, this has become an organization.
That's right.
I look forward to having the first physical office of BR. I look
Mm.
forward to seeing it happen. I look forward to seeing Pastor Mori take this a little bit more serious.
She's listening.
Yes, I look forward to,
Mm.
that's how someone, my one of my pastor encouraged me and said, this ministry you are doing, you can actually take it serious. You can
Yeah.
actually do it. Like, that's it. As in, that's what you're doing. All
Mm.
right. And I've seen that sometimes those little, maybe I need to do more push to Pastor Murray after this broadcast.
After the broadcast.
I will do that push privately. All right.
Yeah.
But uh, to the question you asked me,
Yes.
you were trying to find out what will be my counsel to new
Yeah, to
members.
young
All right.
women.
So
Yes.
I think young women out there who like to be part of BR should really know what BR is out for and
That's right.
know what they are joining, and
Mm.
then know how it benefits them, and then know how they can benefit others. Now, this is it. Anybody joining BR is benefited by
Mm.
belonging to the community, not just by filling the form. So it's the issue is people just join groups and they fill the form and they find themselves in a platform
Yes.
that doesn't bring the juice into the cup.
Mm.
What really brings the juice into the cup is that they connect, and they really need to connect. Women
That's right.
need to connect to good women. All right, they
Mm.
need to, and sometimes that connection is deliberate. It's not like something you wait for to just happen
Mm.
naturally,
Yes.
because everybody is busy, and also if it's an organization yet that is not having maybe like 10 full-time staff who are
Yeah.
on ground, which is where I pray that we will push to, that we can actually navigate the people,
That's right.
because bringing them into the community is what brings the blessing out. It's not just
Mm.
having numbers, it's
No.
by having relationships,
Yeah.
and them having relationships of succor
Mm.
along the way there. And then using those relationships to bless other women. All right.
Mm.
I think that's just my counsel. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Shekhar. And for hearing from what you said, just said, as young women who are joining, they need to really connect to the vision and the mission, have a good understanding. And when they join, they need to make sure that they feel, like I said, feel a sense of belonging. And I think that's what actually has kept BR up to this time. But we know women have different personalities. Some people are easily outgoing, some easily
Mhm.
connect with others. Why some people, it takes them time. But what you're saying is, whatever personality you have, when you join a group of it, try to find a place where you can actually connect and impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you're blessed and you'll be a blessing. Thank you so much for that. Okay. How do you think Babe to Define can continue to make a positive impact? You probably have said a bit about this on its member and wider community. And what
Yeah.
initiative or program would you like to see implemented?
Okay. I think, uh, in a nutshell, I think the leadership of BR should see BR as something to really take serious. I
Mm,
don't know how else to say it,
yes.
because, yeah, maybe because I have a hint on how this thing grew, and so I
Mm,
can imagine that nobody really planned to
mm,
birth this 15-year-old girl. All right, nobody really planned it. It was just, let's do something. All
mm,
right, you know, just like boyfriend and girlfriend does something. and he lands into a baby. All right. So nobody really planned like so, but when baby happens, you now have to really get serious
Right.
because this is not a baseball. This is something that is not going to die except you allow it to die. All right. So, and this is something that can also birth lives. All right. So, I feel that personally, I feel that the structuring needs to is demanding more attention and more focus, more life. Something, there's a time when a work is no longer something that you can thrive by doing it as a
Mm.
side kick or what you call
Profound. Yeah, yeah,
it's
like a side also.
yeah, a side hustle. Sometimes a work gets to a point where it can no longer be, uh, it can no longer thrive. It can be, but it can no longer thrive as a side hustle.
Mm,
Somebody's life needs to stand on it, to
mm,
take it, and somebody needs to wake up in the morning and sleep at night, and all the person is thinking about is beer. You might really want to consider getting there now, all right?
mm.
Because if nobody is beer, then it's going to affect a lot of administrative structures because a lot of thoughts are now going to be demanded to navigate this ministry to where it's supposed or where it has the potential to go. And I think that that's where we are going to see it as something worth putting the entire life on,
Mm.
all right, and then to be, to focus on, all right, not anymore as not everybody, even if it's just one or two people for now,
Yes.
but not everybody seeing this as a side, like we just come and do it and we go back, and then we come and do it and we go back. Yeah, a lot of people can be doing that, but there should be some people that
Yeah.
we see that are standing only on this, even if they are
Mm.
going to be getting allowances from the house
Yes.
for their thoughts, and they are waking up in the morning, dreaming in the night, receiving visions from God, doing everything, planning, seeing how this now life needs to get on it. Sincerely, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that's the only thing that has just been buzzing in my heart
Um,
to say on this invite. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tego. It's very profound what you said. And I think it's thought provoking as well. And I'm sure a lot of leaders that are listening are taking notes. So, what you're saying, if I can hear you clearly now, we need more restructuring and the capacity of position of people we need are people who can do possibly full time. It's not going to be a
Yeah,
lot, one or
yeah.
two or three persons,
You may not
but
even need
we're
plenty
trusting God.
instruction, but you need to now start looking at BR as something that needs life, something that
Yes.
needs someone's life,
Mm,
some people's life to
mm,
to fire on. All right.
yeah.
So it's standing strong because some life is on it. All right.
Yes.
So that's what
Wow.
I'm going.
Wow, thank you so much. And the Lord will help us. And there's nothing impossible that we cannot accomplish. And I
Nothing.
believe that from this podcast and this series, as we've ended next week, there's going to be meetings and the leaders are going to be coming together. And we'll obviously be strategizing again and see how do we move
Yeah.
on from where we are and God helping
Yeah.
us. Thank you, sir.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And what are some of the most memorable moments you've had in Babes Redefined? I don't know if you would like to share any experience you've had that shaped your perspective. Yeah.
The
Anyone?
dining table with Pastor Morin. I lived with my friend Pastor Dele uh,
Yes.
in Abuja, and I think almost every other place. It's only
Wow.
Leicester you coming now.
Yeah, we're still waiting for you, Lester.
It's Leicester. It's Leicester. I'm coming now. So
Yes.
well, I'm really Leicester by the grace of God. But you know, uh, I I I I don't know. I think for me, it's been something that my life started with. I had a passion for women, and it's not something I put in myself. It was
Mm.
something that God put there, and he had kept me. I mean, no scandal, no rubbish. For this is we're talking close to 25 years. Uh, 20,
It's a long
um,
time.
2 years. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, so even me, I've given back to the kind of girls I was reaching out to in those early years now. So and it's just the grace of God. So I think it drew me to pushing that Pastor Maureen could express. I found in her something that a heart that was so profound that I felt that if she had the capacity to rub it on several other women, it would have been massive. I mean,
Mm.
she's she's what you see. I mean, if I say I stayed in someone's house for a while,
Yes.
you can't fake too many things.
Mm. Very
So
true.
when I tell you she has a good heart, she's just, I mean, I don't want to tell you what I call, but
We
she's
could give
just,
you room to express.
she's just, I mean, even my friend knows that when it comes to Pastor Bisheks and Bimo,
Mm-hmm.
we have a special place on the table there. So we get to talk, and then she comes up with this idea that she's been feeling like reaching out to women and all that. And I
Yes.
just got to get familiar with this social media tool. And I like, oh, you can do this, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't really want to do anything. Like she just wanted to be herself, wanted to be on her page and all that. But I was like, no, you can do this, you can do this. No, I was so excited because at that point I knew that there was a limit. I was having limitations in reaching women because I was also being very careful and all that. So any woman trying to reach women was
Yes.
something that was, I mean, I could, I mean, I would so be so excited to push that person
And
because
support them.
yes, that person would have, of course, paradigms have changed now because you
Yeah.
see, ministries evolve. For me now, I'm not really as in that space publicly as I was before. But I look back at the years and I've seen several women efforts grow from what God used my life to do. I've seen
Mm.
several women efforts, so when it was time to back out of it, I to change, let me not say back out, let me say change mode of operation. I
Yes.
saw that God was done with certain things. Okay, so I mean, for me, a very, very wonderful moment there on the
Mm.
table. She's telling me she's having feelings to reach women, and I'm like, no, you can do this. In fact, you must do it. In fact, I mean, I now took it more than the person that is even,
That actually had the.
ah,
But we need
let's do
people
it.
like yourself, the encouragers,
Yes,
the
let's, I
people
mean,
who are at your back saying you
let's
can do
open
it.
the group. Yes, you can do it. Let's open the group. Yeah, don't
Mhm.
worry. I remember when they now opened the group, and then there were now several issues, and she was like, Pastor Tebo, you need to come and address all this. I said, no, you will address it because
Yes.
I felt that BR initially was kind of open to some men to come in.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a foundational historical revelation.
That's
That at
interesting.
the beginning, yeah, it was like there was a positioning there to say,
Mm.
let's probably allow some men to make
Mm.
some input. But then we sat again, and that's one of those.
Mm.
moments I also remember, where I think it was on online or Facebook, and we're chatting. If
Okay.
we dig Facebook, we may still see those
To
chats.
probably have
Uh,
history.
yeah, that's history. That's good history. And we're
Mm.
chatting, and I was like, I feel that women will prefer it on the long run if they are the only ones in the room. You
Mm.
know, they can undress easily.
Yes,
I'm not talking physically. They
of
can
course.
undress easily. They
Yes.
can undress easily. They can talk about their issue. They can talk about us.
Mm.
Uh, very very freely, if they are the only ones in the room. And so I think the model we opted for then was that if there was any input that some of us could make,
Yeah.
maybe she could bring it behind the scene, and
Yes,
then we could
rather
make
than
it, and then she brings the input to the house. And
mm.
some of us also came in through our wives. All right. So
Interesting.
yes, we were
Did you do
we were
counseling, sir? Were you part of?
yes,
Did you, yes, I was just going to.
yeah,
That's interesting.
well, I don't know whether I'm supposed to say it, but at some point,
Yeah.
I think we 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 made inputs in some cases through our wives, and the Bible says the two have become one anyway. So,
Yes.
we came in. I came in as Sholakwe to make some inputs. In those early days, I
Mm.
came in. So rather than coming in as a man into the house, I think
Yeah.
those early days. But of course, after a while, there was no need at
There was no
all.
need
There
for
was
it.
just there was no need for anybody to. I mean, the jungle matured. A lot of graced women
Mm.
started coming, and
Yeah.
they started seeing places where they could make imputes, and that attracted strong women because they
Mm.
saw platform where they could also express to help other women. So it
True.
also attracted a lot of strong women, and there
Mm.
was absolutely no need for any foreigner to come
Mm.
in any.
Any
I think
foreigner
I've
as in men.
men,
But
yes.
it's really heartwarming to hear and it's taking us down memory lane because some of us joined many years after. But just to know,
Yeah,
how the birthing and all those foundations,
yeah,
all those, structures were put in.
yes,
We try this, it doesn't work. We try this. And I think that's what the stage is, isn't it? And it's, yeah, she
yeah,
said you were part of counseling. So I was trying to understand what did Pastor Segun do behind the scene.
yes,
But thank you
yes.
for sharing
That's
that.
what you just heard now. Okay, so that's where the issues were brought. Some issues were brought, and I still do that. I
Mhm.
think, like I said the other time, that I'm not really like uh, public meetings, women thing
Yes,
like I was some years back. But what I do, because what I felt God lead us to do was to now stand behind the women that we do it. It
mm,
was 2019 that shift happened, and what I now do is a lot of behind the scenes. I think I've been doing that for a long while too, but strongly now, a lot of behind the scenes
yes,
strengthening of people to
yeah,
do what God has called them to do, and also handling cases
mm,
indirectly,
yeah,
without being directly there. So, and
okay,
I think even VR have been there, have been, you don't have all the knowledge uh,
true,
at every point in time. So,
yeah,
for every work, God brings a community of people
yes,
who can stand with Him on that work. It doesn't mean that they are good or they are big or anything. It just
mm,
means that God has expression vents that he can use to surround the work. So
true,
sometimes, uh, and Pastor Maureen is good on that. She
mhm,
takes inputs from her husband, from
yes,
several people to
yes,
find a kind of clear path, and then a
mm,
clear direction on what to do on certain things. And she looks at people who are strong on some certain parts, and she
yes,
takes counsel from them, and that's very humbling and very profound attitude that she has employed for PR over the years. So where we have some naughty cases, I'm trying to see if I can remember. There was somebody that they donated money for, and they didn't know whether the person was actually just fleecing the group or
No,
something,
no.
something.
Mm.
uh and so those kind of things, we had prior experiences,
And you
and then we
can,
could say, okay, let's check
it
this
counts.
person out, let's do this, and all that. But like I
Mhm.
said, uh, the counseling needs, external counseling needs, has reduced drastically because a lot of
Mm.
strong women have also come into the house, and so we are grateful to God for that.
For those additions. Yes. Thank you
Yeah,
so
we
much,
are
Pastor Segun.
grateful.
Really lovely to hear your proud
Yeah,
moments because I was trying to make you really, really touch on that, and you did. You took us right back. And I think it's good for people who are listening to understand that Pimo has such how should I put it, a teachable spirit. She knows how to pick the right people for the work. She's very
yes,
discerning. And we thank God for our life for that, because you can make a mistake by bringing people who are not supposed to be. They are not graced, they are not
the
gifted.
very act of seeking counsel,
Mhm.
sometimes some people believes it belittles you,
Yes,
but it takes
it's humbling.
strong. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, a very very wise person knows that seeking counsel has nothing to do with belittling you. It just
That's right.
makes you wiser. That's
True.
just what it does. Mm.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And we'll probably ask you this: how do you see Baby Divine evolve in the future? I think you've mentioned some of the things we can do, so I wouldn't put so much emphasis on that.
Yeah.
What mess you want to say something first?
What?
Yeah, I said, what message would you like to share with the Base Redefined community, and how they
Okay.
can continue to uplift one another? Any message you
Ah,
have for us tonight?
okay. So, um, that means you are. If it is message, we have to open Bible. Okay, so let's open the Bible.
Okay.
Let me go to verse. Is it First Samuel, Second Samuel, uh, uh, Second Samuel. Okay, let me take a lesson from Exodus. Exodus, and that will be Exodus chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2. And it's from Moses' mother.
Mm,
All right. Okay, so if you look at Moses' mother, it was there's so much to take from her life,
mm,
especially in the time that we are in now. The Bible says, and the woman, verse 2, Exodus
mm.
2,
Bless you.
and the woman conceived and bare a son, and she saw him that he was a goodly child. She hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And verse 4 says, and his sister stood afar off to wit what will be done to him.
Mm.
Uh, and verse 5 downwards talks about the deliverance story. But
Yes.
I'm not looking at the deliverance story now. I'm looking at the family. I'm looking
Mm,
at yes, I'm looking at Amram and Jochebed. I'm looking at those that woman,
mm,
and I'm looking at a woman who lived in a time of national crisis
mm,
where children were being uh, were being killed,
Yes.
for nothing. They were just a generation was wasting. A
Mm,
generation was wasted. That's just the word. And then she did certain things that made her stand out. Number one, I know the emphasis on the story of the story is on Moses, which is the male child.
yes.
But I want us to note that that woman raised a girl
Mm,
that could play the Moses script so well. If you look at the movie, you will see
yeah.
that Miriam was the real McCoy. I
Mm,
mean, that girl stood with a baby on a river
mm,
doing what when her mother had gone home? I
mm,
mean, waiting for what?
mm,
That was a hopeless situation. There was no reason to be standing there. How long will she stand watching a baby on a river? For what? What did she want to see? Did she want to see the baby die? Or what was she waiting for? But she stood there. That
mm,
girl stood there in faith and was so quick to notice deliverance when deliverance was in view, and was so wise to know what to say and what not to say.
mm.
You could ask me, why am I going to?
Yes, sir.
Who is raising those kind of girls?
Mm,
Who is raising those kind of girls? Who is raising those kind of girls? I mean,
mm,
who is taking that kind of effort to raise these kind of girls in our generation today? And
mm.
it's just a thought I like to drop there.
Yes, stop
And
provoking.
who is taking that deliberate effort to preserve children in a hopeless. We don't have any record that any other son
Mm,
survived.
mm.
We don't have any record that any age mate of Moses survived. And the difference was the mother.
True.
She said, rather than throw my child in the river, let
Mm,
me take him there myself
mm,
and put him there in the hands of God. And let God do the rest.
mm.
I mean, I could teach an hour on that, but that's not the emphasis.
That's right.
Girls, our girls are in danger.
Mm,
I tell you, as a young man, I tell
mm,
you, the image of the average African girl, any young girl, the feminine species
mm,
is so bad.
mm,
Yeah, yes, out there. And somebody needs to rise up and do something about it.
mm,
Somebody needs to do something about it. Somebody needs to rise up and save a generation rather than
mm,
just give up and just throw hands down and say,
mm.
let them do whatever they want to do. And that's what Moses' mother did
Mm.
not do. One,
That's right.
that's what Miriam did not do. Miriam did not just give up.
Mm,
Miriam did something to save a believer,
mm,
a generation. And and
mm.
and I pray that everyone watching us tonight,
Yes.
in any little way you can fold your hands and
Mm.
watch them wipe out a whole generation. When I say wipe out now, I'm not talking about physical killing. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
moral,
Yeah.
mental.
Identity.
The identity, what a young girl thinks about herself, what she
Yes.
has resorted to, the
Mm,
image, the esteem, the value,
mm.
the spirit of a young girl. You know, if you know what I'm saying, you shed tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shed tears, and
Mm,
I pray that we will not just be dropping hands down, we'll do something
Mm.
about it. Somebody's
Yes.
listening to us, and in your own little way,
Mm.
you know, Miriam did not just, just give up. She sat there. She did something. She
Mm.
watched over the. Uh, we may need to watch over a lot of our daughters, a lot of, we may need to take a step out there. But if everybody just watches, I mean, the devil is
Who's
having a
gonna?
field day. I mean,
Yeah.
we are on this broadcast tonight because we were trying to do something about
Yes.
it. Nobody should, put their hands, off the table. Everybody should get involved. Is God laying something on your heart to start doing, no matter how little it is? It cannot
Mm.
be more little than
Mm.
Miriam standing by the seaside
Mm.
watching a baby on the river. What kind of, I mean,
River now.
whatever God is
It was
asking
big.
you to do cannot be as silly
Mm.
as what Miriam did,
Mm.
and at the end of the day, it still made sense. No matter
Mm.
how little God is leading us, let us
Yes.
know that it is to us that it is little,
Mm.
but to the recipients, it will not end up little, and to
Mm.
God, nothing is little. Thank
That's
you.
right.
That's my message. Mm.
Wow. Thank you, Professor Shegun. It just felt like we could we could give you the room to
Yeah.
further, explain your the scripture. But I'm sure a lot of people we get the message, and
Yeah.
we would, all do something in our capacity. All hands on deck. I think what I'm hearing is
All hands on deck.
all hands on
All
deck.
hands on deck.
Nobody should
All
say
hands on deck.
it's the work of some
Mm.
people. I'm
All
not a
hands on deck.
pastor. I don't have to be a pastor. Miriam was not a
I don't
pastor.
have
She
to
was not
do
called to the
that.
pulpit.
No, no,
Yes. And so
no.
we can all
But
do.
sometimes you just start by taking a little step to tell somebody you can talk to me. That's
Mm.
that's that you can
Mm.
talk, and that's what PR started with. You can
Yes.
talk to me. You
Yes.
know, getting 80,000 women to take that position,
Mm.
it will have an impact you cannot imagine. All right,
Yes.
80,000 to take that position of you can talk to me. And then challenging ourselves to raise first our own daughters,
Yes.
and then secondly, uh, other girls around
Mhm.
us. I believe will make a big change.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Shego. And on that note, would like to say thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you for all the contributions you've made to Babe to Define, even from the inception. We do not
Thank
take it
you.
for granted. And I'm sure you're praying with us and you're going to be part of the anniversary in
Yes,
Nigeria. We
by the
hope to
grace
see
of God.
you. Yes. And so as we
Hopefully,
wrap up on this episode tonight, thank you everybody who has watched. And if you're going to be catching up, we will have on YouTube, we're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. Please share your thoughts and reflection. Let us know what you think about tonight's broadcast. And please join us tomorrow night again at 7 p.m. as we have one of our founding members who is going to be interviewed. So have a good night and God bless. Thank you, Pastor Shegun. Thank you. Good night. Bye.